thoughts on that, or what that was like for you? Or?
I don't know how that role just manifested itself to be. I don't know how I played it, but it was fun, and I think that you did a really good job at making me feel comfortable, in the situation, and especially with my past experience with a negative past experience. It was kind of nice to see how you were different and how you would treat the session and how you treat the client. It just made me feel all around kind of more comfortable disclosing things with you.
So the way that did things as a counselor really helped you.
Right, and especially since it was at the forefront of, like, in the beginning of the session. I mean, you couldn't really go anywhere unless that happened.
Yeah.
Possibly. So, and I felt like you understood, what I was saying and where I was coming from, and you hit on like the emotions that I was feeling.
So part of what helped you say more was I got it.
Yeah.
I seemed to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, like, when I ask you about previous counseling, that is a question that I would often ask if a person tells me something about it, because the reason I asked was just the honest truth. I just want to know if there's something I need to not do because it's not going to work. Of course, then it turned out to be a pretty easy answer. Don't fall asleep. I'm like, okay, I got that. Well, I mean, most days I get pretty sleepy in a counseling session sometimes too. But
that part was actually real.
Yeah.
Or for me.
I thought it might have been.
Because I was like, that's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think is important, like, across so many settings is and I don't know what happened with that counselor, but I just think every person has to be taken absolutely seriously.
Yeah.
Because, like, the character you were playing as a person that's not that bad off and stuff, it's like, and I think that it's where the tendency can sometimes be. Because having a conversation with some counselors that work at a really tough setting with a really tough background, and with one of our interns and our site supervisor, and to them they were both going, oh, well, it's only this and this and this, and I kind of backed up and sort of reviewed because they see it every day.
Right.
And so they sort of needed the reminder of, oh no, that's pretty intense for that teenager. And so I just think every person has to be taken absolutely seriously, partly because I didn't know where else it might go for you.
Yeah.
Just because tease you a little bit, but I actually mean it. I just feel awkward saying it. But I mean, you're young, you're good looking, you got so many things going for you.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but one, that doesn't mean that this isn't really hard. And two, I don't know what else there is yet.
Right, exactly.
Because you did say something about with the county, you did some really stupid stuff, and so I'm a little bit like, in the back of my mind, I didn't want to go there in the first meeting.
Exactly.
But if you're going to continue, and I felt confident that you were, like if I felt like you were going, yeah, but you were just saying it, then I would have gone, I think you're just saying it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And depending on the setting, I might follow up. Nicely if it's at a school, you can go back and see the child. You have a more lighter conversation and also a little bit. I thought we were going to continue what happened.
Yeah.
And those things at some agency settings you can call. Some prefer not. Some it's okay. Like fun in there. And but I felt like you were going to, so I wasn't that worried about that.
Yeah.
I felt like you meant it.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking, and I didn't want to, sorry, I got off track, but I didn't want to ask, is this stupid stuff in the past kind of like this stupid stuff now?
Yeah.
But it is where my mind went, like,
Right.
but I just sort of thought of it like a novel. It's like, well, read on and we'll see.
It's a good strategy.
Jump ahead and go, tell me now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with my practicum experience so far, I feel like I'm not there yet to kind of pick out like the nuances of maybe there's something there, but they don't want to go, they mentioned it a little bit, but they don't really want to go there, or, well, maybe I should kind of probe into that yet, or maybe not right now, maybe in a different session, but, I mean, since I was only seeing clients, maybe like 3 kind of deepen.
Inpatient, so they weren't there very long.
Right, it was really hard to kind of deepen the focus with them, was in such a short amount of time. Because I felt like the first sessions that I had, they were all like pretty much getting to know them, and then there was the middle session, and then the termination session.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kind of get where I wanted to go, but.
And some of them may have been not that open with you because it was the nature of substance abuse counseling.
Definitely, yeah.
Generally, people kind of want to hold the extent of it back a little bit. And then I guess the other thing I'd say is they were also in a setting where it's treatment all day long, you know.
Yes, yes.
And then they have individual counseling too, and so in some ways it takes the pressure off the individual counseling, but in some ways it also pulls some of the content out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, I wanted to say, and I don't know whether this will be on the tape or not, you know, but I wanted to say too that like if, you know, when you're working with clients like this on an internship, there wouldn't have been anything wrong with it probably if I had gone ahead and probed more, like pushed a little more for how much drug use or what were these things in the past. Some counselors would. My way is more to kind of wait and see that it unfolds. Plus, I just think somewhat it's a matter of experience for me.
Yeah.
Like I get a feel for, is this person being open with me to the extent that she's ready and able to at this time? And if that's the way it feels to me, then I won't, certainly won't probe in. But I just wanted to say, you know, just, I don't know if I'll leave it on the segment or not, but certainly for you, it's like, I don't mean through this example to say you cannot, should not, you know, also ask more follow-up questions, like, you know, what was this really stupid behavior in the past?
Yeah,
or, you know, those just weren't my choices in that moment because I felt like you were really coming around to, from starting with this is stupid to this is kind of cool. I appreciate this.
yeah.
And so I was like, well, just leave it be. It's all good.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I didn't have any idea that I needed to worry about you. Like I took you at your word when you said smoke pot a few times. Like if I had thought, yeah, I smoke a few times, you know, but something tells me a few is understatement. You know, then I would go with that little, something's bothering me about the way you said a few. I think you meant at least a few.
Right.
You know.
Right. So your intuition is kind of leading you into.
It's intuition. I think it's intuition. Well, it's informed by experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also informed by empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I hear somebody go, yeah, I mean, I've smoked pot a time or two. And then that little look at the end, or the feeling of it makes me go, a time or two.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I get the idea that you're saying a time or two, but that's kind of what you're telling me first.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes they'll go, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, like everybody does.
Yeah.
You know, so it is more than a time or two, and you justify it by knowing it's like everybody does.
Right.
See how it kind of
Yeah.
comes out and it comes out. You know?
More disclosure of that.
Yeah, that's sort of my way.